Oh, what got me locked up was, you know, I was young and I was gunslinger. I was playing with them guns, you know what I'm saying? I always liked guns, and I always, you know, was quick to use my gun. And one day some kid bumped into me, somebody I didn't know from a can of paint, and I thought he should apologize. He didn't apologize, and I shot him. And I ended up shooting an innocent bystander, and I was about 16 years old, and they sent me away for a long amount of time, you know, and that's where I became the Yard father. That's where I became Saigon. That's where I was like, I can't keep living like this, because that wasn't my first time I got locked up as a juvenile for another shooting. So I was like, you can look it up. Like I'll send you the you know, newspaper articles and shit like that. You can post it on the site. Like it was real shit, and you know, I just told myself I don't want to be a career criminal. I don't want to spend the rest of my life in prison. I don't want to be in prison till I die. So I said, I got to do something. I didn't have no education. You know, I had like, when I went to prison, I had like a seventh grade reading level. So I was like, you know, and they let me out as a grown man. So, you know, while I was in there, I took the initiative to learn and to start going to the library, because they don't enforce it. They want you to be dumb so you can come back. But I said, I'm not coming back. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. I'm not coming back. And that's why I'm still swinging. And that's why I'm out here still swinging. You know what I'm saying? First time I shot a gun, I was 12. I remember I was 12 years old. I had a 25 with no clip. So I would just put one bullet in the head and just pow, and just, you know what I'm saying? And that shit just gave me this adrenaline rush. Like, I remember I tried to rob a cab driver with it, and I was so young, he disrespected the robbery. When you disrespect the robbery, I mean, I pulled out the gun and he was like, man, I will not get robbed by a little kid. He just refused it. I'm like, I knew I didn't have no bullets. So I'm fronting for very long. And he just was like, I'm like, give me the money. He's like, nah, man, I ain't giving you the money. Fuck that. I've been driving all day. Like, look, shorty, man. And I'm like, yo, I ain't playing, man. I'm gonna pop you. He was like, man, you gonna have to do what you gotta do. And from that point on, I was like, damn, man, I might have to start popping these motherfuckers. You know, and I was a kid, I was stupid. You know what I mean? I was running around Brownsville with a bunch of young knucklehead niggas doing dumb shit. And to us, it was normal. It wasn't like we didn't feel like we was doing nothing crazy, because niggas up the street was doing it, and niggas around the corner was doing it, and niggas up the street. So it was just like a way of life, you know what I'm saying? The first time I was 16. I was 16 years old when I had an issue with some kid, and he was sitting in his car, and I shot his car up. Luckily, I ain't hit him, but he jumped out and ran, and we caught him, and we beat him pretty bad. And that was the first time. I was 16 years old, and I got locked up for that. As soon as they let me out, I shot the two people what I did all that time for. I think it's the dumbest shit in the world. I think it's stupid, you know what I'm saying? It was so, that's the reason why, what I did was so stupid, and at the time, what I really worried about more so than how stupid it is was how stupid I didn't think it was back then. You know what I'm saying? Back then I thought it was gangster. I thought it was a respect thing. But that wasn't. It had nothing to do with respect. It had something to do with me being fucking ignorant. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I try to be such a super parent, because I think where I went wrong was, not even saying going wrong, but I didn't have a father in a household, and my mother taught me the right things. She told me everything right, but you know, she was bad. She had to go out and work to take care of us. So when she wasn't there was nobody there to enforce, you know, the things she was telling me. So the streets became like my father. So when you in the street, you know, you play by street rules, and one of the street rules is, you know, a false sense of what we call respect. And it ain't really respect. And we just want people to fear us. We don't want people to respect us. We want people to fear us. So when you want people to fear you, you got to do shit to make them fear you. And to me, that was one of the things, like, I had to do this to get this false, it's an insecurity. It's all a bunch of fucked up shit when you grow up with bad parenting and bad household. Because if you're not taught the things to do in life, and you're learning from a bunch of people who don't know right from wrong, or not even right from wrong, but don't even know how to, you know, what it means to be a man, because our father, we come from the single parent generation, so a lot of us didn't have fathers. So, you know, we learn from rap music, we learn from movies, we learn from outside influences, when we should be learning at home. And we don't be learning at home because the home is a broken structure. You see what I'm saying? And that's you know, I'm still fucked up over it. I'm on TV cursing at the mother of my child, because, you know, I think she's doing something wrong, but there's a different approach that I should have took. But I took a fucked up approach because, you know what I'm saying, this is how I'm used to doing shit. And not making excuses for myself because it's wrong. But at the same token, you can't tell a motherfucker that been doing cartwheels his whole life to do a back handspring. You know what I'm saying?